Did there come a time when you became a cooperating individual for Briger, Nardella, and Thomas?
Yeah.
Okay, can you tell us approximately when that was?
Probably about, actually, for Trooper Briger, probably about 3 years ago. Since then, not as much, but once in a while I'll give them information. We've always had respect for each other.
Up until some recent point.
Yeah, recently.
Okay. How about Nardella and Thomas? Did there come a time when you started to cooperate with them as to investigations and criminal cases against people locally?
Yeah. I used to drive my cars around unregistered and uninsured, and my license is under suspension. And they caught me a couple times, gave me tickets for it, and I was getting in a lot of trouble with it. So I decided, they said if I helped them out, that I wouldn't really have anything to worry about. So I started giving them a little information, minor drug bust, fights, graffiti, anything like that, any kind of information I had.
All right. Now, at that point, would you specifically go out and target people, or would you just tell them stuff you knew people were doing wrong?
Yeah, just things I heard.
All right. And you said you drove unregistered or under suspension. Has that gone on for a while?
Yeah.
About how long?
I don't know, probably about 8 months or so.
All right, and without insurance?
Without insurance.
All right, and Briger knew that?
Briger.
Nardella knows it?
All the locals know it.
All right, we'll come back to that. Well, let me ask you this. Were there any occasions recently where that condition existed and you were stopped by someone who was concerned about it?
I was stopped by Officer Secchi about 4 or 5 weeks ago, in the Tri-Town shopping plaza. I was driving a Toyota pickup truck, which was far from legal. It was real high off the ground, no windshield, muffler was broken on it and everything else. So he pulled me over. I was with my friend Bill Orlick, and I said to Bill, man, he's pulling me over. I said, I can't believe it. You're not supposed to pull me over. It's common knowledge in town that, I'm not supposed to pull over a tie dash on. I help everybody out.
Meaning the police?
Meaning the police.
Yeah.
I've given information to all of the locals.
Right.
But Nardella was the main contact for me until Thomas came along, and then both of them, shared information with both of them. When Officer Secchi pulled me over, he got me out of the truck, asked me to come out of the truck, and he asked me, who do I think I am? Why do I think, what makes me get away with this? How come he has to pay for insurance and I don't? How come he has to pay for registration and I don't? And I said, just call Trooper Briger. So he radioed to Trooper Briger, who was at the Colchester Police Department, and then brought me over there. Trooper Briger asked to see me. When we got to the station, Colchester Police Department, Trooper Briger said, you can't drive your truck around anymore. Things are a little hot. And,
because of the IAD investigation, right, and the complaints.
Right. I was under the impression they didn't want anybody to know I was getting special favors for the information I was getting.
So Briger told you to cool it, as it were, for a while.
Right. Officer Secchi was rather pissed off about it. He was real mad about it, but he had to let me go. Trooper Briger told me to drive my truck home and park it. When I got to my house, I called Officer Nardella at his home, and he was off duty, and I said, Officer Secchi just pulled me over. And Nardella instantly said, what the hell did he pull you over for? They know not to pull you over. And I said, well, I'll call him. He said, don't worry about it. I said, does that mean I can drive still? And he said, yeah. He said, go ahead.
So you knew you were driving without a license or without insurance?
Right.
Okay. And have you had any problems since then? Has anybody bothered you driving around? Okay. Now, let me give you a little background just to put the time frame in perspective and then see what you remember about it. On June 22nd, which would be, 5.5 weeks ago, Stephen Murzin was told by someone that he believed was credible that this person had been told that either you told him or you were telling other people that Constables Nardella and Thomas had approached you about killing the Murzin brothers. His father, Richard Murzin, at that time was investigating the beating of his sons and working with me on their case. His father received that information from Stephen, wrote a memo and a statement from Stephen on the 23rd of June and gave it to the Internal Affairs Department of the State Police in Meriden, so that they were aware that there was a claim on the street that Nardella and Thomas were trying to use you, Todd Vachon, to hurt the Murzins. With that time frame, around that point in time, were you notified by anyone with either Mr. Briger or the constables that the Internal Affairs Division in Meriden wanted to talk to you?
Yeah.
All right. And who notified you?
Trooper Briger called me up.
All right. What did he tell you, Todd?
He told me that